Hi, this is William F Ludwig III with WFL Drums, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast, and thanks for tuning us in.
Brutally Delicious!
Hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. I am Bruce. See what I did there? That was kind of like taking over after you.
You did, yeah. But I am totally honored for this next guest. You may notice I'm not doing something stupid because I'm just in awe. Our next guest is William Ludwig III. And this is unbelievable. This guy's family created Ludwig drums. So everything from the Vistalites to, John Bonham and Ringo Starr, all these drummers played his family's drums, and he started a new drum company called WFL III Drums, and I can't be more excited to do this interview. Let's get him on the line.
Let's go ahead and get him on the line. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, you there?
I'm here.
I've got Bill on the phone. Bill, meet my partner, Chris.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It's a real pleasure to have you on today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Where are you guys based?
We're in Virginia. I live just outside D.C., and Bruce is in Richmond. Where are you based?
Nice. I'm outside Chicago.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just have to start this interview like this because I'm a recording engineer first and foremost, and the best drum kits I've ever recorded have been old Ludwig kits. And I'm just such a huge fan of them. If I had to, when I was prepping for this interview, I talked to one of my favorite session drummers, and he's like, "Oh, you got to check out he has 3 Ludwig kits now. He has a 1976 clear Vistalite, a 79 Buddy Rich, and a mid-60s Keystone. And they're just gorgeous kits, just gorgeous. So I just had to start off by saying that because it's just unbelievable.
Well, thank you. It's great to hear, but I got to tell you, my new line of drums, WFL III drums, is getting compared to the old WFL drums from the 40s and 50s.
From what I've heard, they're actually better. And this is where I was going with this because I'm literally drooling at the thought of being able to record some WFL III drums. Yeah, what artists are you guys working with right now? Like, are you endorsing anyone or?
Yeah, we've got a couple. I'm endorsing Adam Ferrioli with Get the Let Out, the Led Zeppelin tribute band. But they've got quite a following. I mean, they play 2,000 seaters regularly, and they really do it right. Carry their own lights and PA, and so I signed him up a couple of years ago. And, of course, he's got the 26-inch bottom style setup.
Oh, wow.
And he just loves them. And the thing about that experience that really made my day was, I was at the venue when the first kit was delivered to him. And they got set up. They did sound check. And in 5 minutes, the sound man said, "Okay, I'm done." And he came up to me and thanked me. And I said, "For what?" He goes, "I had an hour and a half set aside to get a new kit out of the box up and ready for a concert. And we're done in 5 minutes."
Oh, wow.
So if I can make a sound man happy, then everything else is going to come together,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So on the WF3 drums then, are you, do you have like custom way, like hardware that you're building into the shells for stands to make it easier for drummers?
No, I'm not doing any hardware. I'm not getting into that battle because, most 99% of drummers already have hardware and stands, and a lot are using the rims mounts, or some just using snare stands for the rack tom.
Yeah.
So I'm just selling shell packs, just the shells.
Oh,
and then everybody, everybody takes their existing hardware and adapts it. So, they're off and running. So that was the main thing, and that way we just focus on the sound and the look of the shells. And which, as you guys know, is the most important part of the drum.
Yeah, that must have been a really proud moment for you seeing that happen.
Oh, yeah, I was ecstatic. When I started with snare drums, I don't want to get ahead of the questions here, but I started with snare drums, so stop me anytime. But just hit delete or hold or whatever you guys do. But I started with snare drums, and of course the next natural progression is drum kits. But and there's a company in the East Coast, Keller Shells, that makes the best, wood shells out there and has for decades. So I discussed it with them, and they said, well, sure. Well, I told them what I wanted and what I was hearing in my head.
Yeah.
They said, well, we'll make you a 3-ply maple poplar maple with a support ring, the way my grandfather made them.
Oh.
We'll make them especially for you extra thin and specially cut veneers. That's only available.
Man.
Wow.
They're available to WFL3 drums. So I said, okay, well, can I come out and tour your factory with my partner? And he said, no, we don't allow people to tour our factory. And then he said, but you, we will.
Of course.
Because it was pretty cool. So my partner and I went out there, and they had a prototype on the conference room table when we walked in, and it wasn't drilled, it was just a raw shell, and I held it, with one finger inside the shell and hit it with my other hand, and it just had a whole beautiful tone of its own. And I said, that's it. That's my sound. That's my shell. You guys nailed it. And they said, okay, we'll do it.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And to add to that, there's Keller is a family-owned business, and there's a grandfather, and then Mr. Keller and his son and his sons, which is the same way I grew up in that environment. So that was very cool. Then I asked a few questions, and Mr. Keller I think he was in his late 80s, and said, I have a WFL Blue Sparkle 1950s in my basement. I play every day. I'll do whatever I can to help you. And that's been the kind of support I've been receiving since starting this project from the industry, which was really comforting.
That's great.
Well, it's quite amazing at the way you're kind of going after this, because a lot of drum companies right now are consolidating and just getting stuff made wherever. And it in some ways, it kind of feels like a race to the bottom,
Well, yeah, exactly. And when I came up with this idea, which 5 years ago, and it's what everybody told me. I was kind of asking around some friends in the industry, and they said, oh, go to China and get your shells where everybody else gets them. I said, I don't want to go where everybody else gets them. I want to do something different, and I want to do it in the USA.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, and then the next thing everybody said was, well, you'll never make a lot of money that way. And I said, well, I'm not doing this to me. I mean, I'm doing it to make money, obviously, but my main focus is to come out with a quality product that all drummers can afford and want to use. And, I wanted my snare drum to be their go-to snare drum for a session or a live gig that they would grab on the way out of the house, and know they're not going to have to worry about the sound.
Well, and it seems to me like you're kind of trying to also keep the family tradition alive of making quality drums, So, like, maybe you could tell us why did your family sell Ludwig in the first place?
And just to go back to that first comment real quick, I was brought up by my grandfather and my father that, I was in and around the factory since third grade, working little odd jobs and things. And I loved the drums. I loved the factory. I loved, there was always drummers coming to my parents' house, and I loved watching them. And that's how I got started by choice. I wasn't forced into it in any way. But my grandfather and father brought me up customer service and quality product, and everything else will follow.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm doing. I mean, you know how it is these days. If you call a telephone company or electric, you got to push 1, then you got to push 2, then you got to go on hold.
Oh, yeah.
Then you leave a message, and nobody ever gets back to you. and that's how I got to get the let out guys. I took some snare drums to sound check, and he played them, and he goes, "Oh, I love these drums. I love this. I want one." I said, "Well, why don't you get a kit? Why don't you come and endorse her?" And they were kind of hemming and hawing, and they said, you know, they had a few communication issues with their other company, and I said, "Really?" And I said, "Well, that's funny. You call my company." And I reached in my pocket and pulled my cell phone out and said, "And I answer the phone."
Right.
You don't get any better customer service than that.
Yeah, exactly. People don't quite know how to handle it. They're like, oh, this is who is this? What's this? You know, it's always been like that. Even at Ludwig Drum Company when I was in high school, working the customer service phones, and a dealer would call up, and I'd say, "Hello, Bill Ludwig, can I help you?" "Who is this?" "Bill Ludwig." "Well, why are you answering the phone?" "It rang. You know, what do you want?" And then all of a sudden we start chit-chatting, and the guy forgot totally why he called. But my father, the same way. If we had an overload of calls, my father would start answering the phones. And it's just the way we are.
I guess, you know, that kind of also speaks probably to the quality of the WFL3 drums. You know, if the owner of the company is going to take that type of care with the customer, can you imagine the type of care they're going to take with the product?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love, you know, being at conventions or going. I do a lot of dealer visits and in stores, and I'm always, you know, keeping my eye on the drums and making sure everything is just so.
So what, in your opinion, what sets WFL3 drums apart from, say, like a DW kit or a Yamaha kit? What sets you apart from other kind of high-end drum kits?
Well, when I started out, I did do some research through the industry because I've been out of the industry for about 14 years. And so I went to drum shops, I went to drum shows and looking at what everybody was doing. And, you know, aside from a lot of the drums coming out of the same factory in China and just getting a different logo on it, they were all going for, you know, 6-ply, 8-ply, 10-ply, and these exotic woods. And I'm like, no, this is too complicated. You're over-engineering here. And that's what made me go back to just the basics, what my grandfather did. Maple, poplar, maple. And, you know, at first everybody said, well, you know, gee, that's kind of been done. And I'm like, yeah, and it worked for, 60 years or something.
Right.
So and that's what I came out with. And now everybody that plays the kit, it goes within seconds, oh, the classic sound. And that makes my day because I had the sound in my head, and we've achieved that. With the snare drums, I had the sound of, you know, the 60s Superphonic 400, it was called, that Bonham used. And
what a snare.
Exactly. And simple. You know, it was a functional strainer, nothing, you know, super special about the adjustment. It just worked. And
I've recorded many versions of that snare drum, and are you saying that WFL3 has a drum similar to that drum but new?
Yes, better.
Oh my fuck! Sorry, pardon my language. I'm just excited as hell about this.
Well, my aluminum shell, people are saying, reminds them of the 70s Black Beauties.
Oh wow!
And this isn't just drummers on the street. I mean, these are professionals that have recorded with the old Black Beauties or still have them.
Yeah.
And they play my snare and they go, oh yeah, this reminds me of my, 1970 Black Beauty, and I'll take that all day.
Okay, so I have to ask you this now, because I went to my local music store and I didn't see any WFL3 drums there. Where can people get them?
Well, we have, we're expanding our dealer network as much as we can, but these days, I'm trying to go after either drum shops which there aren't a whole heck of a lot out there anymore, or music stores that have a really dedicated drum department that has lessons and, repairs and sales staff, not just the corner of a guitar shop.
Right.
So you're in D.C., Drum Center of Portsmouth. Do you know that store?
I don't. I'm kind of new to the D.C. area. I'm originally from Canada, so I don't know my way around here all that well yet.
It's north, just go north, and listen for the drumming. But it's Portsmouth, New Hampshire, I think, is north of Boston by about an hour. And that's a stunning store. I mean, it's worth a drive if you want someday. But down in Nashville, we have Nelson's Drum Shop. Down in Florida, Music and Arts Enterprises is a fantastic dealer in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
Speaking of Canada, I've got a great drum shop up there called Drumland in Vaughan, north of Toronto.
Okay.
And
you should reach out to in Vancouver. There's a shop called Rufus Drums. They carry high-end drum kits. You should contact those guys. Rufus, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll be going out there in February for a drum show.
Oh, really? In Victoria, the Victoria Drum Fest?
No, it's Vancouver. It's in. Can I mention competition?
Sure.
Drumeo is doing their first 2-day drum event of.
Drumeo is amazing.
Yeah.
Drumeo is amazing, and you're going to get a lot of great push from those guys. I actually know quite a few people that work with Drumeo, so I'll send them a message for you in advance.
Well, do you know Seamus?
I don't know.
Seamus. He's a video guy. He's the main video interview guy. And I was just up in Canada 2 weeks ago and did a video with Drumeo. Then I did 2 clinics at a amazing high school for the arts that you have to audition to get into, which was wild.
Yeah.
And then a day at Drumland. But yeah, so I've done the video with them, and now doing this 2-day. This is their first time doing a drum show, so to speak. But it's going to be 2 days of clinics, and then they've got the display area in a theater in downtown Vancouver. I can't remember.
Yeah, the Tom Lee Theater, probably.
What's it called?
It's probably at the Tom Lee Theater. It's like a music store that they have like a room that people always use for this kind of stuff there. It's right.
This is a freestanding theater. It's like looks like a 2,500 seater.
Oh wow, maybe that's the Vogue then. That'll be cool.
I think that's it. Yeah, and it's pretty big. But
well, you're gonna have guys there like Ryan Van Poederoin and Jay. There's gonna be so many drummers there. It's gonna be it'll be amazing. There's so many good session drummers in Vancouver. It's ridiculous.
Well, you guys should try to get out there for that.
Yeah, well, I might fly back for it just so I can get one and bring it to the studio.
Are you going to be at NAMM?
I won't be at NAMM. No. I'm doing some work with Avid for NAMM, but I'm not. I personally won't be at NAMM.
Okay.
Now, can you also get these drums online?
Yes. You can go to our website. We just introduced a new website that has a feature that will allow you to buy direct if you want.
Oh, wow.
And it also lists our dealers, too. So, if you don't have a dealer near you, go direct. Or if you want to try shopping around, check our site. Sweetwater is also one of our dealers. So
amazing.
Nice.
They have them, yeah.
Now, on your website, do you have audio examples of how the drums sound?
Like I said, it's brand new website as of about a month ago, and I do believe we just added some sound samples on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I could talk forever about I could talk forever about drums.
Yeah.
I could talk forever about drums, but I know that keep this short. So, Bruce, I'll let you go ahead. Sorry, I'm just
No. I'm just enjoying it. You seem to know a whole lot more about this than I do, so I'm fine with you taking it.
Oh, I do have one last question. What are you doing with your bearing edges? Is it like I think the Ludwig bearing edge? What's that?
45 with a slight round over at the top.
Oh God! So it touches the skin just perfectly.
Yeah.
And
that's another thing. We pay as much attention to the inside of the shell as we do the outside. I mean, we've got the support ring that, where we cut the bearing edge in that. However, the bottom of the support ring, most people leave, squared and raw. We finish that too. And it doesn't do anything for the sound, but it looks cool, and I wanted it. So
that's all that matters.
Well, yeah, and too, I bet you the drums are pretty loud. Like if you want them to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time. I know I was kind of quiet, but Chris was really taking the lead on this one because he knows it. So that's great.
Well, I actually own I make virtual instruments, and I make drum libraries. So I've recorded so many drums. It's just been unbelievable. And like I say, like I've done, I can't even tell you how many Ludwig kits I've recorded. And now, like when we first found out we were going to do this, I went to the website and I was just like drooling. I wanted to track these drums so badly, So
thank you.
It's my birthday today, and this made my day, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Chris. I'll tell you what size T-shirt do you wear?
Extra large.
Why don't you email me your address? I'll send you a birthday T-shirt.
Nice.
Well, I can buy one. I'll buy one.
No, I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I'll
do that right away. You don't even have to ask me twice. Done.
Nice. I think you just made Chris's day.
You'll get an email from Chris at spacecabinaudio.com, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time with us today. It's truly been an honor of mine.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much, and thank you, Bruce, for having me.
No, so I wasn't that I was not. It wasn't that I was not interested, Bill. I just want him to take the lead because he knows more. So I learned a lot.
Okay, cool, no problem.
Have a wonderful rest of the week and a great holiday. Okay.
You too.
Take care, my friend. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you there?
I'm here. Holy fuck, that was amazing. Holy shit. Like, I could have kept that one going all fucking day.
I know. I was almost going to send you a message because we were at 27 minutes on that. And I went, uh-oh.
Yeah, like he didn't even want to answer the questions that they sent us to ask him.
Well, that's good because, I want to do something different, even though I know that's probably what he's more prepared for.
Well, that was a pretty technical one. Like when I'm asking about his bearing edge, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But
I wanted my snare drum to be
you hear that?
Yeah.
Snare drum for
good, we got it.
Oh, God, it's just so fucking amazing, man.
Well, good. And he was a nice guy. You're going to get a T-shirt out of the deal. That was a wonderful thing. And I was not uninterested. I just don't know enough, so I was learning as I was going.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty technical topic, It's not, building drums is not what we usually cover.
Oh, yeah.
So.
No, but you know what? I like that about our show because we've covered a dude driving his special needs son around the country. We've covered battle jackets and professors, so we're good.
Absolutely. It's been amazing. So I'm going to send him an email right now.
I'm surprised you haven't sent that already.
Well, I'm typing it as I sit here.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.